Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing something disturbing. You can no longer remember the last time you solved a difficult problem without asking AI. You don't write from scratch anymore. You don't research for hours anymore. You don't struggle to find the right words. You don't even sit with difficult questions for very long. You simply ask, and AI answers. At first, it feels like progress. You become faster, more productive, more efficient. But there is a question we need to ask. What happens to your brain when you stop doing the mental work yourself? Is AI actually making us smarter? Or could our dependence on it slowly make us weaker thinkers? Welcome to Thinking Deeply Now. Today, we're going to explore one of the most important questions of the AI age. Is AI destroying your brain? And the answer is more complicated and more interesting than you might think.
Let's start with something important. AI isn't literally destroying your brain. There is no evidence that simply using ChatGPT or another AI system is physically damaging your brain. The real concern is different. The concern is what happens when we outsource too much thinking. Think about your muscles. If you stop using your legs for months, they become weaker. Your brain works differently, but there is a similar principle. Mental abilities improve when you use them. Memory, attention, problem solving, writing, reasoning, creativity. These abilities need practice. And AI creates something unprecedented. A machine that can perform many of these mental tasks almost instantly. Need an idea? Ask AI. Need an explanation? Ask AI. Need an email? Ask AI. Need to summarize a book? Ask AI. Need to solve a problem? Ask AI. Need to make a decision? Ask AI. The convenience is incredible. But convenience always comes with a trade-off. And sometimes the thing we're saving isn't just time. We're saving ourselves from thinking.
Your brain is constantly trying to become more efficient. When you perform a task repeatedly, your brain develops patterns that make that task easier. This is one reason habits become automatic. You don't consciously think about every movement when you walk. You don't analyze every letter when you read. Your brain learns shortcuts. That's useful. But here's the problem. If you repeatedly choose the easiest possible path, you can become dependent on that path. Imagine a student who uses AI to write every essay. The essay might look excellent. The student might even receive a high grade. But what happens when the student sits in an exam room without AI? Suddenly, the ability to organize an argument becomes difficult. The vocabulary isn't as accessible. The ideas don't come as easily. The student didn't just outsource the assignment. They outsourced the practice that would have made them better. And this principle applies far beyond education.
This isn't the first time technology has changed how we use our minds. When search engines became part of everyday life, researchers began studying how people remember information differently when they know the information can easily be found again. People don't always remember the information itself. Instead, they may remember where to find it. That's not necessarily bad. Technology allows us to store enormous amounts of information externally. We don't need to memorize everything. But there's a difference between using technology as a tool and allowing technology to replace the thinking process itself. And AI takes this much further. A search engine gives you information. AI can give you the information and organize it, explain it, compare it, rewrite it, summarize it, and make a decision for you. That changes the relationship. The question is no longer, can technology help me find the answer? It's, should I think about the question myself before asking for the answer?
Here's where things get interesting. The biggest danger may not be using AI, it may be using AI too early. Imagine you're trying to solve a difficult problem. You spend 10 minutes thinking. You get stuck. You try another approach. Still stuck. You begin to feel frustrated. And then you ask AI. Instant answer. The frustration disappears. The problem disappears. But something else disappeared too. The opportunity to struggle with the problem. And that struggle matters. Some of our deepest learning happens when we're forced to wrestle with something we don't immediately understand. When you struggle to remember a word, you strengthen your ability to retrieve information. When you struggle to solve a problem, you develop reasoning strategies. When you struggle to write an argument, you learn how to organize your thoughts. When you struggle to understand an idea, you build connections between concepts. AI can remove the struggle. And sometimes that's exactly what we need. But sometimes the struggle is the training. There's another concern. AI can generate thousands of ideas in seconds. That sounds like a dream for creativity. But creativity isn't simply producing ideas. It's developing taste. It's making connections. It's experimenting. It's failing. It's asking strange questions. It's sitting with an incomplete thought until something unexpected emerges. If you ask AI for 10 ideas before you've generated even one yourself, you might unconsciously start judging your creativity against machine-generated possibilities. Eventually, you may stop asking, "What do I think?" and start asking, "What does AI suggest?" That's a subtle shift, but it's enormous. Because creativity begins with having your own thoughts, even imperfect ones. And those imperfect thoughts are often where original ideas begin. Now let's be fair. AI isn't the enemy. In fact, used correctly, AI can make you much better at thinking. Imagine you're learning philosophy. Instead of asking AI, "Explain this entire book," you read the chapter yourself. You form your own interpretation. Then you ask AI, "Here is what I think the author is saying. Challenge my interpretation." Now AI isn't replacing your thinking. It's testing it. Or imagine you're writing an article. Instead of saying, "Write this article for me," you write the first draft. Then ask AI, "What assumptions am I making? What arguments are weak? What opposing perspectives am I missing? Where is my reasoning unclear?" Now you're using AI like a sparring partner, and that's a completely different relationship. The difference is simple. Don't use AI to avoid thinking. Use AI to improve your thinking. Here's a simple principle you can start using today. Think first, AI second. Before asking AI for an answer, spend a few minutes trying to solve the problem yourself. Write down your own ideas. Make your own prediction. Create your own outline. Form your own opinion. Then use AI to challenge, improve, expand, or test your thinking. This creates a powerful cycle. You think, AI responds. You evaluate, AI challenges. You rethink. AI helps you explore. Now, you're not outsourcing your brain. You're training it. There's one area where you should be especially careful: decision-making. AI can analyze information. It can identify patterns. It can give you perspectives. but it doesn't live your life. It doesn't experience your relationships. It doesn't carry your values. It doesn't feel the consequences of your choices the way you do. So don't give AI the final authority over important decisions. Use it to illuminate the options, but keep the responsibility for the decision yourself. Because intelligence isn't just knowing what is possible. Wisdom is knowing what is worth doing.
The future probably won't belong to people who completely reject AI, and it probably won't belong to people who blindly depend on it. It will belong to people who know how to think alongside it. Imagine two people. Person A asks AI to do everything. AI writes the ideas, AI performs the research, AI makes the arguments, AI makes the decisions. Person B uses AI differently. They think first, they question, they investigate, they challenge, they create. Then they use AI to accelerate the process. Who do you think will become more capable over time? The difference isn't the technology. It's the relationship with the technology. So, is AI destroying your brain? Maybe the better question is, are you allowing AI to replace the mental effort that keeps your brain sharp? AI itself isn't necessarily the problem. The problem is passive dependence. If AI becomes your replacement for reading, thinking, remembering, writing, questioning, and deciding, you may become increasingly dependent on it. But if AI becomes your teacher, researcher, critic, brainstorming partner, and intellectual sparring partner, it can help you go further than you could alone. The technology isn't automatically making us smarter, and it isn't automatically making us stupid. Our habits determine the outcome. So, the next time you open an AI tool, pause for a moment. Before you ask, "What's the answer?" ask yourself, "What do I think?" Even if your answer is incomplete, even if it's wrong, even if it takes longer, give your brain a chance to struggle. Give it a chance to remember. Give it a chance to create. Give it a chance to be wrong. Because that's how thinking gets stronger. AI can give you an answer in seconds, but the ability to think deeply is something no machine should take away from you. And perhaps the greatest skill of the AI age won't be knowing how to use artificial intelligence. It will be knowing when not to use it. This is thinking deeply now. Master your mind, master your life. And remember, don't let a machine do the thinking you were born to practice. If this made you think differently about AI, share it with someone who uses AI every day. And before you leave, ask yourself one question. When was the last time I struggled with a difficult idea without asking a machine to solve it for me? Think deeply. See you in the next one.